Don't forget to talk into the mic.
Will do. And we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. We're actually a couple minutes early today, but we just wanted to talk about how the traffic conditions were. So it is 7:56 at the moment, and we got a, excuse me, sorry about that. It is currently 35 degrees outside right now, so it's warm. Like I say warm. 35 wouldn't have been warm 3 weeks ago, but as of today, it is. I mean, we acclimatized to that 1 degree weather that we had, and now I'm literally wearing a long sleeve T-shirt and a beanie and some pants, and I feel fine outside, like fine. We got a high of 46 today, so that's going to be nice. However, it's going to be looking like this all day. It's going to be this foggy, rainy kind of. It's not supposed to rain, but it's just going to be this misty fog stuff. So this morning when we were going to the gym, we were driving, it was so densely foggy, and it's not even really fog, it's like steam coming up off the ground because of the drastic temperature change that we've had in the last day. But I mean, we could barely see like 10 feet in front of you. I mean, I thought the entire city of Owasso had a blackout. It was so dark, and you couldn't see the light until you were maybe 20 yards away from a lamppost or something. It's crazy. So, and it's gotten better since the sun's come up, but it's still pretty bad. I mean, if you can look right now at the traffic conditions on the road, it's not great. Like yesterday, I'm guessing people just canceled going into work, or work sent mass text messages out and said, hey, don't bother coming in or something. But today, we're talking standstill traffic going into Tulsa right now. It is pretty impressive. I mean, you can see that we got standstill traffic backed up almost all the way up to where our building is. I mean, people are really slowing down right outside the door here. But yeah, if you're coming in on 76th Street, it's standstill right there. So be advised, folks, your commute into Tulsa is going to be rough. If you hadn't already left, you're probably not going to make it to work on time today. Just throwing that out there to you. So
and not to mention, visibility is pretty scarce right now.
It's dismal, yeah.
So
drive safe. Pay attention, because the conditions are significantly better than they were yesterday. It's not icy anymore. I mean, all the major roads are fine. The parking lot here at our office is actually not the best. It's a little slushy still, but not icy anymore, thank goodness. So all that ice is kind of melted, especially on the major highways and stuff. So be careful in parking lots is the only thing I'll say to you folks, because just depending on how the parking lot is and which way the wind's blowing through, there could still be some ice in parking lots, but I'd say the major roads and major highways are all going to be just fine. But like I said, the visibility because of this dense fog is what's going to be rough. I mean, look, if you can see on on our
screen
picture here, I can barely see that billboard. Look, I mean, you can barely see. If I can see a little light, and I think maybe there's a car advertisement on it right now, but I mean, it's barely visible. You can't see the train bridge at all. So, like I said, be advised, your trip in's going to be tough because the fog is pretty dense right now. So be careful doing that. As far as local news goes, Chad, why don't you give the updates on what the Chamber and the Owassoism sites has to say about what's going on in the area?
Absolutely. I already checked the Chamber this morning. There's nothing going on this week on the Chamber's event calendar. Owassoisms has got a couple of things on it. We've got a blood drive today. Let me double check where that is at. Let me see here. It said blood drive at the First Church in Owasso. And that's 10100 North Garnett Road. Mm-hmm. And then the Veterans of Foreign War pancake breakfast, and that's at the Owasso Community Center.
When is that?
That is on the 27th of January. Cool. And then there's also a blood drive at the community center as well, the same day, just a little bit later.
Nice.
So, and that's really it for this week. There's really not much going on this week. Like I said, it's December and February are usually pretty quiet when it comes to doing stuff. December is a little bit more, Christmassy, but January is pretty quiet.
Absolutely. It's just it's the cold months that people just don't want to do a whole lot. So, that being said, the big news nationally is that Ron DeSantis dropped out of the Republican primary, so he's officially out. And what a waste of time and money that was. I mean, he was polling at 50% above Trump a year ago, and he just fell off so quickly. It's kind of insane. It's amazing. He just hired the wrong people to be in charge of his
Campaign.
staff. I
Yeah.
mean, his campaign staff was atrocious. Like they were. The folks that Chad and I get our news from, it's like Tim Pool, Daily Wire, kind of more conservative leaning stuff, folks. So if you kind of know that, but what I would say was, the Timcast would comment about stuff, and Ron DeSantis's
Team would jump on
team
him.
would jump on him. Like they would just attack. It's like, why are you attacking somebody who's friendly to him when they're giving constructive criticism? And that's a problem. Like, I mean, you have to be able to take constructive criticism. The people that Ron surrounded himself with did not take criticism of him or their campaign.
Well, at
And
all.
that's not good. He should have.
Especially when you're trying to pull the market from that audience. Like I said, those are the people who
Those
are
are
like,
your
yeah,
fence
we're
sitters.
with you. We're with you.
Yeah, and they liked DeSantis. The people at Timcast liked Ron DeSantis. They say firmly he's the best governor in the United States right now. I mean, that's high praise. But when you surround yourself with the wrong people and yes men, and you do not do your due diligence and try to rein these people in or at least fire somebody, you're going to get screwed over by incompetent people or petty people. And that's what happened with his campaign.
You need everyone to be on the same page when it comes to the mission. If you've got people that think the mission's going the opposite direction, you've got a bunch of people doing separate missions, not all focused on the same goal. So
Yeah.
that's definitely where he kind of failed right there.
Yeah, and Nikki Haley's still pretending to be not in third place. So, I mean, the second place candidate, Ron DeSantis, just dropped out. Nikki Haley still thinks she's hanging tough. I mean, from what I've seen, she's just not popular. She's not going to do well. But I heard a kind of a theory. Maybe what she's doing is she's sticking her head in the race as long as she can to basically rob Democratic donors of as much money as she can, because this is it. She knows her time in the spotlight's done after this, so she's going to make as much money off these campaign donations as she can and pocket it, and then disappear into obscurity after that.
Possibility.
I mean, I guess she could go back to being the governor of South Carolina, right? But
I have no clue.
I don't know. So we'll see. There's a lot going on with that right now, but I would just say Nikki Haley should just drop out, but I think she's going to try to milk this cow for what it's got left. So
Yeah.
that's what's going on there.
Understandable.
So that's all that's really going on in the news nationally. I guess we'll kind of go into culture. A while back now, or I guess last week, I had watched a film on Netflix. I don't know, a lot of people on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, it's fine, but there's a movie on there called Society of the Snow. And I don't know if anybody remembers a movie that came out in the 90s with Ethan Hawke, but it was called Alive. And it was about that Uruguayan plane that crashed in the Andes Mountains, and they ended up having to eat the dead to survive for like 2 months in the mountains. So that's what it is, but it's like the 90s one looks specifically like a 90s movie. It's not very artsy. They just got the shots and kind of put it in the can and went away. So it was a very low budget film, but still was impressive for what it was. But this Society of the Snow it's pretty incredible. It's shot beautifully, and that it's done very well. So I would say it has atmosphere. It has a lot. It just has an atmosphere that the original Alive didn't have. But yeah, watch the film. It's really pretty good, pretty amazing, and I really enjoyed it. Still though, tough watch at some points in time. But I mean, like, it's a survival film where literally everything that can go wrong does go wrong, and they're faced with incredibly tough moral decisions, and you can feel it, like, so the movie shot very well, and the actors, like, I mean, they wither away, and they look like completely different people from the beginning of the film. I'm guessing they must have taken like a month off and just said, hey guys, starve yourselves, because the actors barely are unrecognizable by the end of the film. It's not like, the Ethan Hawke movie. It's like, he's still good looking Ethan Hawke at the end of the movie. It's like, he's skinny, but I mean, they were like, we had to cast a skinny guy because it's about people who are withering. I mean, and the movie Society of the Snow, they, like I said, they look like normal people at the beginning, and they look like death at the end of it. So it's really good, shot well, performed very well. It's good for me. So go check that out on Netflix if you haven't, or you got time to kind of check out kind of culture related stuff. So with that being said, that's about all we've got for you folks today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this was the Morning Loop. We are signing off. Have a blessed day, everyone, and drive safe out there.